The International Association for Near-Death Studies presents NDE Radio, a weekly exploration of near-death experiences and similar encounters with the other side. Now, here's your host, Lee Witting.
What if a radio show got to be around so long you could go back and re-interview previous guests just to see what's going on now in their lives? Well, I guess that's where we are today. Welcome to NDE Radio, brought to you by IANS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies. I'm your host, Lee Witting. Our guest today is Yvonne Sneeden, and if you haven't listened to the interview we did with her on our show of October 14th, 2013, I would strongly suggest that you listen. That show is posted on our website, of course, and it's one of the best we've done. At the depths of the feeling that her life was over, Yvonne had an NDE that took her to the energy that is heaven and is Jesus, who refilled her with the energy of life. And in this interview today, I think she'll be telling us what she's been doing with that energy she received. Yvonne, welcome to NDE Radio.
Hello. Thank you for receiving me today. I'm very pleased to be back here, Lee. Thank you.
Oh, it's wonderful to hear your voice. One of the first things I want to say is your description of your meeting with Jesus recorded on that show of October 14th, 2013 should be must listening for everyone who has an interest in NDEs. Now, just tell me, how strong is the memory of that NDE for you today?
Lee, it is actually as strong as the week after I had my near-death experience. It is such a impactful experience that it never goes away. You relive it whenever you have a chance because it's so profound. You see, it's like having two realities now: the reality of heaven and the reality here on earth. So you can only relive it because it's part of your reality from now on.
Yes. Now, one of the big things you're working on right now, I understand, is a documentary film called Back from the Light, which is about what happens to people after they've had an NDE. So perhaps you could tell us about that. How did you decide to get involved in that, and where does it stand right now?
Actually, Lee, the reason I got involved is, first of all, being myself a near-death experiencer and having been to the other side of heaven and having my life transformed by the experience and the love I received in that place and the magnificent experience and tremendous love I experienced. And when I came back here, I also started to try to reconnect with people that had that experience and to understand how I could live today with such a transformative life experience. I had friends around, family. I was sharing my story, and then I connected with IANS, and I realized how important it was to be with IANS and to be able to connect with other people that had experienced the same thing as I did, because you see, you come back, you want to share your love to the world, and suddenly you realize that maybe your family or friends or people around you have not had the experience, and I realized that there were a few challenges, and I thought, well, if I go through them, and I'm sure other people that have had a near-death experience really have questions or had their life change or have after effects from that experience. And in 2 years ago, in 2013, actually, when you kindly interviewed me with my experience, I met Robert Neal Marshall, and he was in my workshop where I was presenting the near-death experience after effects, and he just had a near-death experience 3 weeks prior to that workshop. He had a heart attack, and he was trying to connect with an organization that would help him explain what he had gone through. And when he came to my workshop, this was the after effect, it just gave him so much insight, and we immediately connected. And he came to me and said, listen, I'm a videographer. I have been in the movie industry, in the film industry. If you ever need anyone to help you for any film or documentary, just let me know. And actually, I had on my heart at that moment that maybe an After Effects program or any information like that was necessary, that we had heard a lot of information on the near-death experience itself, people kindly and gladly, just like me, explaining their beautiful experience or maybe their distressful experience. And but we have not heard so much about how you left after you have had such an experience. How do you live your daily life? How easy or difficult it is for you, for your family, your couple. And so Robert Neal Marshall and myself clicked immediately, and we felt the need to get something like that produced. And as it is his own, he's a filmmaker, he's an actor, and it's his world. He excels in it. So we thought it was a perfect combination. I was in Heightened for a while. I had known so many beautiful people, just like you, Lee, and other people in Heightened, and I could connect us with the right people. So we thought we are just a perfect team, and both of us have a near-death experience. So it would be really, we would be able maybe to convey that documentary with accuracy, maybe, or more on-hand lived experience. So that's how our adventure started. It took a year to really start it, because I think it took that year for Robert Neal Marshall and myself to connect on a human level, but also on our experience, share what we had gone through, and eventually be ready for the documentary.
Now, after the interview that we did back in 2013, you got involved in a local IANS group, didn't you, in the Durham area?
That's right. Actually, as I had my near death in 2008, and for about 5 years, I was on my own with the experience and longing to find other people like me. And in 2012, I finally found out that there was the IANS group near my home, 2 minutes from my home, literally, that was taking place, and led by Robert and Susan Mace, they are actually part of IANS. They are Robert is a treasurer, and they're very active. They have their own group, they're group leaders as well for the Chapel Hill Triangle area. So I went to, they had just done 2 meetings right near where I live, which is in Cary. It's about 20 miles from Chapel Hill, Durham. So, and they just came there for 2 or 3 meetings, almost like to pick me up and then close that meeting. So I went, it's literally, that's what happened. I feel that they were sent there or something, because, and we connected instantly. They welcomed me. I almost felt like I had a new family that understood my what I had gone through. So I attended their meetings for a while, and we realized there was a need for a group in Raleigh, which is here in North Carolina. Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina. So we thought it would be good to have a group here as well, and that actually meet during the day, and the Mace would have their meeting during the evening in a Duke facility, actually. So it worked out well. So we would give the opportunity to people to come either during the evening for the ones at work, and in the afternoon for people that don't like to drive at night. So yes, I've been leading that group for about 6 months now.
Yeah. So actually, you're working on 2 projects for people who've come back from the light. You're not only are you doing your documentary film, but you're running a local group. IANS has local groups all over the country, which are support groups for people who've had an NDE or OBE or a similar mystical experience and are possibly confused or rattled or even delighted by it and want to talk and share with others about what they saw. So how do you find the local group is working out for people?
I do think it's a wonderful experience, and we just had a meeting yesterday as well, and it was just a beautiful meeting. I realized that I'm helping other people through this, and it just brings me so much joy when I see people at the end of the meeting with a big smile and saying thank you so much. That actually is the reward for all the efforts I'm putting into it to find a topic and I'm very helped by the Mays as well. Robert and Susan, they just come and support me. So I think it is really a group where either the experiencer come, and yesterday after the meeting, one of the experiencer, a very beautiful older lady, and myself, we went for dinner. She wanted to go for dinner, and I spent the whole evening listening to her story, and she was so happy to be able to spend a longer time than just 2 hours meeting with someone. So I felt the need there, but there were also some people yesterday that never had an NDE but are really, really looking into it because it's something that have been on their mind for a while, or somebody in their family passed away. So yesterday really was such a beautiful afternoon, and I do feel that it is very helpful for the participants to bring encouragement. To bring really encouragement that you don't have to live this lifetime in fear or in hurts or wounds or full of anger when you know that there's something really a place later on after this life which actually has so many wonderful beings and love and kindness awaiting. So it helps them apprehend the future with more peace, actually, and try to live this life here with more love and kindness and try to make a difference in this world. So to me, it's been working well so far.
So do you feel that when you experienced energy and light and the love of Jesus and angels in your NDE, do you feel that energy and their personal guidance even continues to put you in the direction of doing things like the documentary and the meetings and so forth? Do you feel like the people that you're meeting have been sent there for a reason, for example?
I really do think that, Lee. I think the experience, the near-death experience, is wonderful in itself. It's amazing. I would love to relive it every day. I do think as well that if we're sent back, it is also some of us actually have a mission to really bring it along to others and to help others feel better. The love you receive in heaven is a healing love, is a restoring love, is that unconditional, eternal love. And that's what I felt when Jesus merged my heart with his heart and showed me how much love he had for humanity and for all his babies, as he called it. And I feel that this experience was given to me for myself, for restoring myself, because I was in a very sad place of my life, but also to bring that along to others. And I do feel that's that's probably a big part of my mission. Many of the experiencers, when they come back from such a life-changing experience and magnificent experience, many of them and of us had the desire to do a difference in life, to give love, to give more, to change. Many change actually professions from if the profession they're in doesn't allow them to service humanity or others. they change jobs and or they find an outlet where they can actually give love or make a difference, encourage, because they realize that the human interaction is actually the most important part of our time here on earth. We can have any kind of work, as important as it is here for this society. The most important is not the profession in itself, it's how you live it, how you interact with others, how much you give to others, and how much you love through what you do. And that's what I guess I try to do as well. I have a wonderful job in the IT world, which is not a spiritual work, and that's probably why I do look into helping IANs in the monthly groups or doing the documentary as well. It's an outlet where I can really give what I have deep down in myself to others, and hopefully help them in difficulties they have today to go through their experience, and also for family and friends that are interested in knowing more about it.
Right. Well, one of the interesting things I thought about your NDE experience was the fact that you had a religious background. In fact, you'd even studied at a seminary in France, I believe. And so you had faith in Jesus, and yet you were brought very low. I don't know if it was spiritually or physically or what. And it was that low point where you felt your life was almost over, even though you're quite young, that you then had your NDE and got re-energized. But so religion, why do you think that religion by itself can leave people as empty as you felt at that point?
It's a very good point, Lee. I was very active in my church in Europe, and I've been, like you said, I've been to Bible college, and I was in seminary, and I could be a minister today. The reason I do think is that in Christianity, in church, and there are many beautiful people that actually are looking for meaning in their life, and they understand that there is a creator and God, and there are many people that want to do the best they can to be that loving soul and to give and be compassionate towards others. And I have experienced many beautiful people within the church, and I'll definitely not dismiss or belittle the church, because any area of life where somebody wants to give and give a message of love and of giving and sharing, I find it fabulous. What happened to me is actually, unfortunately, in those groups, we're all human beings, and even though people are learning about through the Bible who God is, who Jesus is, what tremendous loving soul Jesus was when he was on earth, and how many healing and how he restored even women who were accused of adultery, how he protected women, how he actually, I think Jesus was one of the very first men on earth who actually promotes women and helped them get out of bondage where they were so belittled by men back then. And I do think that so there's a good message of hope. What happened today is that we are all human beings, and everyone understands at their level the message that's actually in the Bible. And unfortunately, not everybody understands it in a sense of loving, giving, sharing, and humbling yourself and being a humble soul that will remove your ego and give around. And unfortunately, I had a few hurts by a group within that church that were more controlling, manipulative, and judgmental, and it had hurt me quite a bit. So I had been a little bit disillusioned because I was thinking that everybody would be loving and giving and being Christ-like, because if you say you're Christian, logically you're following Christ's example, and that to me would be the logical explanation of who you are, but not everybody understands it at that level, and that's how I would explain it. It's different when you have learned what the Bible says and then follow some doctrinal teaching that you're taught on Sundays, and it's different to be love and to manifest that on a daily basis in everything you do, and so that's what was where I had come to. I had felt that there was a lot of hypocrisy in church. There were a lot of teaching, a lot of money invested in buildings and in building youth group, in building activities for the kids, building activities to go in. But I would see side by side in church for 10, 15 years, very rich people going to church, and a poor single mother struggling to pay her rent, her monthly rent, and they had attend the same church for 10, 15 years. And it would I just said something is wrong in the love manifestation. And I think when I had that near-death experience, and I finally experienced what I was looking for, that love that Jesus gave, and how that merged he merged his heart with my heart. And when I finally understood that the love, the unconditional love, is to love the other person, your neighbor, just the same way you love yourself, in every way, in every aspect of life, not only in words and act and teaching, but hands-on and actively. And I think that's what led to my, I had that emotional tiredness, and plus my relationship. My relationship was not working either, and I had not had very good fortune with my romantic relationship, I would say, and those two had led to be really tired emotionally. And something that was not said in my interview when in DC was that in the same time, at that same period of time, somebody pointed out and said, Yvonne, and during that same period of time, I had arrhythmia, and I was followed for that arrhythmia situation, and the cardiologist had given me some medication for arrhythmia, and they were way too strong for me, and I think that is actually the trigger to my near-death experience. That's what I realized later on.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. In the few minutes that we have, left, Yvonne, tell us how far along the documentary is. Is it finished, or is it near completion? I know you were trying to do some fundraising to complete it. Where does all that stand?
Actually, yes, we are in the process of doing that very wonderful documentary. We have interviewed quite a few, about already 15 different experiencers. Mary Neal is one of our interviewees. She has written a book, Back to Heaven and Back, and she's a spine surgeon. She has had a near-death experience. We do have a few other experiencers. It's a beautiful journey to listen to all those people, and also the family that have actually experienced secondhand what it feels to live with an NDE experiencer, or what were the consequences and the benefits. So the journey is wonderful. We still have beautiful people to interview, and therefore we have started an Indiegogo campaign, which can be found on, you can go on, the documentary will be titled Back from the Light. So you can go on our website, www.backfromthelight.com, backfromthelight.com. We also have a Facebook page, Back from the Light, and we do have that Indiegogo campaign. If you go on Indiegogo.com, and Indiegogo is spelled INDIEGOGO, Indiegogo.com, you will see our campaign, Back from the Light. We have a campaign where we would like to raise funds to be able to finish our documentary as fast as possible, to be able to bring more people to the documentary. Would love to go to Europe to interview a neurologist who is actively researching the ND experience, and actually he has done a phenomenal work. So we still have a few things to achieve, and it would be wonderful if anyone who listened to this would be helping us, supporting us. It doesn't have to be much. Whatever they can do to help us go and be able to accomplish that mission, we do think it's going to make a difference. I have already seen right now people have been. I have just by my YouTube video. I have had so many emails from experiencers around the world. I have a very kind one in Ivory Coast in Africa, and he has contacted me. I've been doing some support work with him because he's isolated there. He doesn't know who to turn to. He has had a near-death experience that changed his life. He doesn't understand what happens to him, and I've been just working with him and a few others around the world. I do think that by doing that video and that documentary, explaining the after effects, explaining what happened to them and how physically, physiologically, spiritually, and emotionally, and on the relationship side, it will help them think they are not turning insane, that actually it's a normal after effect what they are going through, and that's what we are trying to bring it around the world. We will try to distribute it to anyone so they can feel that they are not isolated. We will put on that film all the organizations that are available around the world so that anyone who watch it will be able to reach out to an organization locally. So we're thinking we're making a difference with this, and we are hoping people will be able to assist us as well and participate in this campaign and help us with whatever they can afford. Thank you so much, Liz. So it's again the title of the documentary is Back from the Light. And
yes.
You can find it online.
I want to thank our guest, Yvonne Sneeden, for describing how she's been using that energy gift Jesus gave her during her 2008 NDE. What we do with our time following an NDE is really an important study in her new film, and I'm sure if you find it possible to contribute to that, you will be helping her to work on something that's really worthwhile. And if you'd like to listen again to this or any of our past shows, just go to our website at nderadio.org. And for more information about the work of IANDS, check out their website, iands.org. And tune in next Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, for more NDE Radio. This is Lee Witting saying thanks for listening.